Week number 9 of Jacked Lead is here. It has been a long 2 months of hammering away at these progressions. And if you've been doing the Strength and Power one with all of the clusters, sets upon sets upon sets for 2 months. But we have been doing this. This is what we would traditionally call like an accumulation cycle. We have hammered a shit ton of volume. And if you've been consistent with it, you are definitively stronger than you were when we started this journey. However, this week will not be a more traditional test week where you're maxing lifts or hitting 3s or 5 rep maxes all week. And that's because when we look at our ability to PR a lift, yes, it obviously has a lot to do with how strong we are. That's a massive component of it. And as I said, you're definitely stronger. However, the second piece of it is your ability to execute with good technique at your high percentages. And when it comes to our strength lifts, not the Olympic lifts, but the strength lifts, you probably have not touched over 85% on any of your lifts all cycle, because that wasn't the intended focus of the cycle. But because of that, you are probably not primed for a big PR, especially if you've been with us for a while, you're a stronger lifter, you're a more experienced lifter. You need to be primed to execute that technique in order to get that PR. So I would suggest that you take this as more of a training week, right? And get geared up for what we're going to go into, which is a massive peaking cycle for the super total, where we're going to be pushing towards 1 reps across all of the primary lifts. Now, why would you want to test a 3 or a 5 rep this week? Because we will have options for that throughout the week's programming. One, if it sounds fun and you're revved up about trying to move some heavy weight, then go for it, dog. Have at it. Try and gobble up those big weights. Or number 2, if you are newer in your strength building journey and you really don't have any gauge of like what a max effort lift is for you, like you have no idea what your 1 rep max back squat is, it would be a really good idea for you to test either a 3 or a 5 on those lifts throughout this week, because then your coaches can help you pretty accurately discern an approximate 1 rep max for your lifts. And we're going to be using a lot of loading structures in this upcoming cycle. Specifically, 2 of them will be AMRAPs at prescribed percentages and some waved loading. And that's going to be a lot more productive if you have an idea of what your high-end level of strength is. So for most people, taking this as a training week is going to be awesome. If you do want to test lifts or you fall into one of those categories I just listed, then it would be a really good idea to build up to a heavy triple, a heavy 5, get an idea of where you're at, because the storm is a brewing and the big PRs are coming in, baby. Let's go.